So when might it be good? Well, I will confess that I thought about a buying put option strategy against. Hey everyone, so I have talked in detail about selling put options before because that is something I utilize when buying into a position. But I've never talked about the other option strategies. Now, there are a lot of complicated option strategies, but today I'm going to keep it really simple and just focus on buying put options. What is it? When to use it? Is it a good idea? And a little demo of how to execute it for yourself. Well, поехали. All right, so buying a put option essentially means you are going to profit if the stock price falls. This is not shorting a stock. You'll be limited in your losses because you can only lose what it costs to buy the contract. So said simply, you want to profit from the decline of the stock price of the company. So a put option gives the buyer of the contract the right, but not the obligation, to sell a stock at the strike price before the expiry date. So the best way to explain this is through an example. Now, I found a stock that I think is going to go down for whatever reason, but I am confident. Let's call it Stinky Inc. Now, Stinky Inc. stock price is $100, but I think that the stock price is going to tumble dramatically over the next 12 months. I think it is surely going to be less than $80, probably closer to $50. So what I do is I buy a put option with a strike of $80 that will expire in 12 months' time. I pay a premium of $500 to buy the put option at this strike price. It cost me $500 to do this. So let's now fast forward 12 months to see what the outcomes are. So the first possible outcome is that the stock price stays above $80. Well, I don't want to buy the stock above $80 and then resell it at $80. That would make me lose money. So it's best to just let this expire, take the $500 loss on the contract. The outcome number two is, well, the stock price is well below $80, let's say it gets to $60. Well, now it would be a good idea to execute the contract. I could buy the stock on the market at $60 and immediately sell it for $80 because I have the contract. Since one contract is 100 shares, I would buy $6,000 worth of the stock and immediately sell it for $8,000. But remember, I did pay that $500 for the contract, so my profit would be $1,500 overall, which is 200% ROI. So the cool thing about buying put options is that the downside is limited to just the premium of the contract, and the upside could be far bigger. For example, let's say the stock price actually crashes really badly because it is a stinky company that got way overpriced in the first place. Say it actually fell to just like, I don't know, $5. Well, you could buy 100 shares at $5 for $500 and sell those shares immediately for $8,000 and then minus the premium, and you've made $7,000 on that $500 investment. And that is an outstanding 1,300% ROI. So at first, it sounds good to have this limited downside and almost unlimited upside, but you still have to be right. So is it a good idea? Well, in my opinion, the short answer is actually generally no. Why? Well, the market doesn't follow the rules in the short term. Look at Tesla, for example. At $700, Elon Musk himself said Tesla's stock price was way too high, and now it's well over $1,000. A lot of people got burnt on that one. So I think buying put options is probably gambling. We have no idea what is going to happen in the short term, and so many things can change, good and bad. And the other problem is that even if I wanted to go for the super long-term buying put option strategy, well, the premiums are just too high that generally the investment just won't make sense. My example was just an example, but I do think it is safer than shorting a stock. Shorting a stock is risky because if the price goes higher and higher, you can lose huge amounts of money. But with the buying a put option and the stock goes crazily up, well, you just let the contract expire and lose the premium, and that's it. So when might it be good? Well, I will confess that I thought about a buying put option strategy against Dogecoin. It isn't possible, and I don't think any idiot would sell me the contract anyway, because essentially I thought Dogecoin was a joke. It is unlimited and just generally useless. I can't imagine it being around in 5 years' time in any meaningful way. I think the joke will just be over. So while the hype was silly, I was looking at ways to sell a long-term put option. Anyway, since I thought it will be almost worthless in the future, I was looking for a big asymmetric bet. I would happily pay $5,000 for the potential to make 20x or 50x on my money, where I thought the outcome was very likely. But I would like a long-term contract, like 3 years or 5 years, and I have no idea what is going to happen in the shorter term. So it'd have to be a 5-year, or at the worst, I had to get a 3-year contract. Anyway, as you can see, buying put options is just speculation. And unfortunately, most option contracts are not long enough for me, because even 2 years is probably not long enough to be right. There are just too many variables for me to work out if something is going to go down. I think I just naturally prefer to focus on companies that I think are getting better and growing, because that is also an asymmetric bet. Investing for long term in good companies. Anyway, regarding buying put options into Dogecoin, it's not possible. No one would sell me a contract. That market doesn't even exist. So yeah, I forgot about it. But if you are interested in seeing how this works, let me quickly show you how to do it. And the platform I'm going to be using is called Interactive Brokers, which is the platform that I use personally, and I highly recommend as the broker of choice for options and long-term investing. There's a link in the description below if you want to take a look at the demo account and try it before you commit. Having a good broker that gives you access to international markets is very important, and just as important as any of the actual investments you're going to make.
Okay, so I've gone through the link in my description, opened up Interactive Brokers. This is actually my account. So this is what it would look like if you had an account set up. And what I've done, I've just typed in TSLA at the top here, which is Tesla. So we're just going to have a look now at what's called the option chain over here. That's where we need to be looking to buying put options. So we're going to do it here. Now, the first thing you're going to notice are all these different dates here. So 37 days, 44 days, 156 days. I'm going to make it out to 1 year. So the closest is 373 days. That's January the 20th, 2023, from a year's time, essentially. So what I need to calculate is, well, the current price is here on the screen, about 1,100. Now, let's say I think, for whatever reason, Tesla is going down. I don't know exactly how much it's going down, but maybe I think it's going to be, maybe I've done a lot of research and a lot of work, and I'm really confident that it's going to, I don't know, $500. So maybe I'd be willing to, I don't know, let's say I want to buy a put option at around about a strike price of $900. So, once it goes below $900, I can start working out how much profit I'm going to make from there. So to actually execute this trade, I'm going to click on, I want to be over here in the puts side, and I want to make sure the strike price is at the $900 that I wanted. Here it is here. And I click on the ask or bid side. I like to click on the ask side because that's what we're doing. We're trying to get this ask price. And I'm going to press the trade button next. Okay, let me just move my screen over so you can see the trade ticket here. Okay, so what it's telling me here is this is actually the strike price, not the price of the stock. And I want to buy the put option. So I'm buying the option, not selling it, I'm buying it. Now the quantity of 1. So this is actually really important because 1 equals 100 shares. 100 shares at a strike price of 900, well, that's $90,000. So I'll have to be able to buy and then sell $90,000 worth of stock. Hence, well, I don't have the cash to do that. So this trade's obviously not going to go through anyway. So I can happily play around here. Now I'm going to put it as a market order thinking that, well, I'll get anywhere around this price here, 157.55. I normally like to do limit orders with things, but since this is just an example, I'm just going to press market. Time in force, I always put good till cancelled. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to press the preview button. Now, as you can see here, I need a lot more cash, which is great because I don't have the cash needed for this order because I don't have much money in my account. There's how much money I have in my account at the moment. I'm pretty much fully invested, by the way. So anyway, this is going to cost me around about, well, I can work out how much this will cost. Here we go here, $15,662. Now that's the premium I'm going to pay to buy this contract, $15,000. So if I pull up my calculator, now I'm going to have to buy and then sell $90,000 worth. As you can see, that's 100 times 900 strike. So that minus the 15,662. Okay, 74. So the strike price of $743 743. That's actually where my break-even point would be. So once the share price goes below $743, I'm now making money on this contract, better than the $15,600 that I had to spend to buy this contract. This is why I don't really like this, because the share price has to fall from, what did we say it was, 1,093 to 743. That's a 35% fall in stock price. Now, I might think that's going to happen over the next year. I have no idea, really. Like, this is just gambling in my eyes. And okay, look, if the share price goes down to 500, well, yeah, I'm going to make pretty good money. I could probably calculate exactly how much money I would make. So let me do that calculation for you quickly. So if it goes down to $500, I would be buying $50,000 worth of shares and selling them for $90,000. So the difference is $40,000 minus the 15,662. So I would make $24,000 if the stock price gets down to $500, which is where I think it probably should be. That's not true. I have actually no idea what Tesla stock price should be. I'm just assuming that I know, okay? So I'd make $24,000 on my $15,000, which is around about, what's that? About a, I don't know, 65 or so percent ROI in a year, which is extremely good if I could pull that off. Geez, I'd have to be confident though that the stock price is going to go down to $500 and lower.
Now, I want to say a quick thank you to Jeremy Newell. Look, thanks for all the comments and support. I appreciate it a lot. You are a legend. Thanks for staying to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.